Hey girls, what's good? What's tea? What's juice? It is me, Camo, and you're listening to Unfazed and Unbothered. This episode is going to be quite different than any of the other episodes that you girls have gotten. If you are watching the visual on YouTube, you're probably wondering, where the fuck are you? What's going on? Where is Tasia? So my dear bestie is sick. She's under the weather. I was going to have a guest with me today, and ironically, that guest woke up sick today as well. So there's something in the water. But yeah, so this is going to be a solo episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. I am going to do my best to deliver a juicy episode for you girls. This is new. It's fun, it's cute, it's gorgeous, and I'm excited. So I guess in true Unfazed and Unbothered fashion, I'm going to just, kind of catch you girls up on my week and my mental state. So I'm actually having a wonderful day. I've had a great past few days. In fact, I have really regained my creativity. I recorded a song last night and I am so excited, you guys. I have not recorded a song in a while, since probably October. I sometimes go through these hiatuses where I just am drained mentally of all my creativity and feel like I have nothing to offer, but I don't know. I've been very inspired and I've been writing some of the best songs of my career thus far, and vocally, I blew myself away last night with the songs I was recording. I finished one and I started another one, started working on it this morning. Bitch, I was up till 4 a.m. recording music. But yeah, so I would say overall, I've had a great week. Nothing crazy has happened. I feel like I've really shifted my energy, and my world around me is kind of falling in line or falling into place. What am I trying to say? I'm just doing better. I'm feeling better. I'm thinking better, and I just think that it's showing in my exterior, around me. The people around me are noticing a change in my mood, a change in just the way that I go about things, my mentalities. I feel like I'm having kind of an awakening. I'm also down now 25 pounds, which is amazing. I don't know if you guys can tell, but girl, my jawline is looking a lot more snatched than in a lot of these previous episodes. And a lot of people have been asking me for tips, and I know we've kind of touched base on them in the past, but now that I am, here solo, I feel like I can break things down a little better. So what I've been doing, I have been eating 1,500 calories a day. That's my cap. I don't go over 15. Well, I have 2 or 3 times, but it's maybe 100 calories. And that I've maintained that for at least three weeks now, maybe a little over 3 weeks. And it's going great. A lot of people around me are like, oh, you're restricting yourself, blah, 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 blah. No. I personally, so backstory, I know I've talked about this before. I have previously lost 120 pounds and I gained a significant amount of that back. And so the first time that I lost all that weight, it took 3 years of trial and error, because I would kind of yo-yo and I was kind of, learning the ropes of, a healthier lifestyle and weight loss and my fitness journey. And so there was a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of learning that I, had to go through. It took a lot longer than it could have taken, but, if you lose 120 pounds in 3 years, go you. That's great. But there's definitely ways to get more effective, timely results. And so towards the end of my weight loss journey back in the day. So I was at my smallest, I was 155-ish. This was back in 2017, but to get there, I would lose 20 pounds, and then I would gain 5 back, and then I would lose 10 and I would gain 15 back. And it was just this back and forth until I really focused on how I was going about things. And, your diet is 80% of it. You ask any health expert, any coach, any, food expert, they will tell you your diet is 80% of your weight loss and weight gain. And that was something that I struggled with for a long time to get under control. But when I finally got it under control, I lost a significant amount of weight, my last 60 pounds fairly quick in the matter of, a few months, because I really focused on, just being mindful about what I put in my body. But needless to say, what I'm doing now is basically what I did back then in that, period where I lost a lot of weight quick. And that is eating 1,500 calories, staying around 1,500 calories every day, and cutting my eating off by 8 p.m., intermittent fasting. Sometimes I cut it off at 6 p.m., whatever my body's feeling. Now, I am not starving. I'm not starving myself. I don't go hungry. I will say my appetite has decreased significantly because I'm not binging and I'm not filling myself up to the point where I'm feeling sore, and I'm not having to go gag myself. I was literally turning into a bulimia girl. Not funny. I know, trigger warning, but it is what it is. I'm not doing that anymore. So I've just also been very mindful of my carbs. I'm not counting carbs by any means, but I'm also not overindulging. I try to limit myself to one. There's a lot of things that I eat that have carbs in it, but I tried to limit my intake of carby foods, things like bread or rice, to one thing a day. So today for lunch, I broke my fast at 1 p.m. and I had a cup of brown rice and some eggs. Protein, carbs, good energy, and I'm feeling good. I didn't overdo it. But anyways, people have been telling me, oh, you're restricting yourself, because I have not eaten fast food in 3 weeks. I will say I had a moment of weakness. I was hanging out with my little sister and we did go to McDonald's and I got a small fry. But I still was in my, deficit. So not going to beat myself up about that. But other than them damn fries, I've not had any fast food. I've not had any sweets. I've not had any pastries, that's the biggest thing, because I was going to Starbucks and getting the goddamn almond croissants. Bitch, if y'all have not had the almond croissants from Starbucks, do yourself a favor. I promise you, it is the greatest pastry there. It's the bread is so soft. Warm that bitch up. It's got this ooey gooey, buttery, creamy, sweet filling, but it's not too sweet. And then it's got slivers of almond on top. It's so divine, and their fucking cake pops, impeccable. But I've not had any of those. And because I have not been eating those things, I don't crave them. Genuinely, I've not been craving them. So I really wish people would get off my back with the whole you're restricting yourself, because I don't feel like I am. I'm not sitting here itching, I haven't had sweets in 3 weeks. I need something. No, I'm not. I genuinely do get an ick when I see and when I'm around sweets. And last night was honestly a big test for me, because I'm very close with my friends, and we kind of share a lot of things. We share food, we share drinks, whatever. And my friend was eating Taco Bell. That is literally my favorite fast food. Not once did I eyeball her food and be like, girl, let me get a chip, let me get a nacho, no, nothing. And that was a moment for me, because food, I've always had a big problem with it. So anyways, I'm going to get off the topic of food, because girl, now we're 10 minutes into this episode. But aside from that, I am doing great. Not aside from that, because that's great. Anyways, don't pick up your phone, bitch. Don't look at your phone. I'm doing great. I'm feeling very creative. I've been going out and getting my 10,000 steps, and that's another big part. Like, I don't go to the gym, and I know that I should implement that into my system. I will eventually, maybe next week, who knows? But I'm just really not that big on going to the gym. I prefer to go outside. I love being outside. That is just like the ultimate piece for me, is being outside around nature, specifically water. I've said this so many times, but it's true. It is true. Since today is a solo episode, I wanted to focus more on me and my life and who I am as a person and what I want to do with my life. I know we've kind of touched base on our goals, but I want to give you guys a deeper understanding of who I am. So above all the TikTok, above all the tarot readings, above the podcasting, I am an artist. I have been writing music since I was in elementary school. That's no bullshit. I literally have a mini composition notebook that I still have to this day, and it's dated back to 2003. And there's poems in there. They're not great by any means. There's songs in there, not great, but it was a start. And I do remember, as a child, when I got home from school, I was not going and hanging out with friends as often. I was rushing to my room and grabbing my notebook and writing music. It's always been a therapy to me. There's not a lot of things that I will toot my own horn on, but my writing is honestly above par, in my opinion. I'm going to just say it. I'm going to toot my own horn there in that department. You won't really hear me toot my own horn elsewhere, but I am very proud of the music that I write. I feel like I'm very poetic, and I put a lot of thought, and I like to write from experience, so I feel like it's relatable. And I genuinely, when I write a song, I get so excited. I get this rush of serotonin, and it just really makes me feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose, you know? But it is hard. It's very hard for an up and coming artist. I have had such a history with music and trying to break in the industry and trying to figure out my sound and whatnot. And it's been a journey, but you know, they do say that you have to put in, 10,000 hours before you become, great at something. And I've definitely put that in. So still got a lot of growing to do. I've never had any vocal training. I've never worked with anybody. I did chorus in middle school and like senior year, but does that even count? Yeah. So my journey with music, I started writing when I was in elementary school, and I started recording on this shitty equipment when I was in 6th grade. I went by Dub C. I have had so many different eras of my life, and Dub C was one of them. I did start out rapping. I do still love to rap. I feel like rap is so fun, and it's a lot easier. There's a lot less pressure. You don't have to think so much about like pitch and all that. It's just genuinely easier. But my raps really started out as like comedic, kind of like a Weird Al Yankovic, if y'all remember him, type of vibe. Like I always would make songs about me being overweight and like kind of clowning on myself and just being silly. Like I had this song, Mr. Twinkie. That was my first performance I did with this scam ass company, Model Productions. Y'all probably remember that. The Gwinnett girlies, the Discover Mills girlies, they probably remember that. Back like 2007 to 2010-ish. That was the Model Production era. And I did perform my song, Mr. Twinkie, in front of an audience of about 3,000 people. And it was fun. It was cute and gorgeous. And I did get a 10 out of 10 on my talent. Just saying. Even though it's a scam, not everybody else got a 10 out of 10. So there was a lot of like 6s. And I didn't get no 6. So anyways, but yeah, I started out rapping. I started out just being silly with it and just having fun. Really, it was very cool to me to hear my voice on a computer and add like reverb and echo and manipulate it, and it was also, again, very therapeutic for me. If I was going through something, or like having a beef with somebody, or going through a heartbreak, or just felt mad, or just felt inspired, whatever I was feeling, writing was, oh my God, Bones, it's okay. My cat is meowing outside of my door now. Scared the shit out of me. But yeah, it was just always a good outlet for me. And I stuck through it, and I was recording little shitty things, very shitty things. And then, what was it? My junior year, I had saved up money doing eBay. I've always been an entrepreneur, bitch. I've never liked working for somebody else. Always tried to work elsewhere or work for myself. But in high school, I was very much an entrepreneur, and I was buying and reselling designer. Papacito. Let me not look at my phone. I'm getting hot and bothered. Anyways, I was like buying designer handbags, accessories, and polishing them with my stepmother, and we were reselling them on eBay. But anyways, I saved up a good chunk of money, and I bought me one of these microphones. Actually, this is a Yeti. I had a Yeti Blue. Like it was a bigger one. This is a Yeti Blue suit, whatever. But it was like a bigger one. It was the first microphone that I had like bought and invested in. Wouldn't recommend one of these microphones for singing. But I wasn't very experienced back then, and it was very much just like me just getting a little bit better. So I would just record in my room every day my junior year. And then my senior year, I was very sick my junior and senior year. But my senior year, the Make-A-Wish Foundation granted me a wish. Shout out to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I will always show them love. They are incredible, and they really came through for me. I asked for a home studio, and they fucking delivered, bitch. They came through with the biggest MacBook at the time, most memory, and they have spent like 10 or 12 grand on... I need to stop looking at my phone. They spent like 10 grand to set me up with a studio, and I had like, what was it, Audio Technica microphone, and it was great, and it worked for a long time. I used it up until this year even, until I invested in a Neumann microphone, a TLM 130, I think, something like that. I love my microphone now. I'm obsessed. And anyway, so I was just like writing and recording music every day, putting it out on SoundCloud, and it was doing things around my town, but it wasn't going anywhere. It is what it is. But over the years, since then, that was like 2012, I have continued writing. I write music almost every day, even if I don't record it. There was a good period of time after I had my bone marrow transplant in like 2014. I did even record an EP literally with chemo and radiation going on around me. I brought my equipment to Duke Hospital in North Carolina, and I recorded a whole EP that is still available on SoundCloud. Definitely not something that like I would put on SoundCloud, on Spotify, but it is, I do kind of keep it up. I'm thinking, I'm going back and forth about privating it, because I feel like the wrong people could get their hands on it, and I'm kind of like promoting this right now, and y'all are like, oh shit, let me rush on over there and see what the fuck it was giving. It's not bad. It's definitely giving demo season. Lots of demos on there. In fact, there are a lot of demos on there that I do plan to re-record, kind of mature some of the lyrics a little bit. But overall, like the things that are on SoundCloud, I do have like a level of pride to them. I'm not disgusted or repulsed by them. Now, there is another SoundCloud that is privated from like my 2012 and earlier music, and that I would not want anyone to hear. The stuff on SoundCloud now, it's like, it doesn't make me cringe. It's obviously amateur, but it's like, you you get a sense of the sound I was going for and like the sounds I've been growing through. But it's been hard as an artist to really break through because I've had a lot of people show interest in me over the years. I've rubbed shoulders with a lot of people who could have changed my life, who could have really helped me out, who could have really, pushed me in the right direction. And what it came down to was I didn't have a platform. I didn't have followers at all. And that sucks. It really sucks that we live in a society now where everything revolves around a platform. So I'm very grateful and very appreciative of every one of you who are listening right now and everyone who is on my TikTok, who's on my Instagram. I genuinely love and appreciate every single one of you because without you, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I wouldn't be able to share my music on the scale that I am now. Even though my music still doesn't get the listens that it should, TikTok does have a way with kind of putting creators in a box where I see this happen so much time and time again. It's happened for me. It's happened for everyone on the app. They take off on TikTok and then what they kind of had their rise with is the only thing that the algorithm favors from them. And so when there's something they're a little more passionate about maybe, or some other endeavor they want to dabble in and share with the girls, TikTok doesn't pick it up. They don't bite it. And that happens for me with my music, which it's so weird because anytime that I post a video on TikTok of me singing or me sharing a clip of something I'm working on, the engagement is there. Like to view to comment ratio, it's there. But TikTok does not put it on the For You page. So it'll end up getting like 30,000 lists or views on the video, but then it'll have like 8,000 likes and 2,000 comments. And I'm like, holy shit, 2,000 people out of 30,000 people commented on this and like 500 people shared it. Why did this video not blow the fuck up? TikTok don't want to see a bitch shine. So, yeah, I hate that like a lot of us get put into a box, which is why I've kind of put my music on the back burner over the past 2 years. But like I said earlier in the episode, I feel really focused and I am kind of looking at my life with a different lens, and I'm seeing things differently. I actually am trying to be more calculated, if you will. I feel like I've always been a calculated person, but definitely working on my calculations and what I put out there. I've not been posting on TikTok. If you girls have been wondering where I've been, like I just haven't been posting on there. I am not inspired with video format right now. That's not to say that maybe tomorrow I won't come up with a good idea and post it, but I got banned off the app for like 2 days and it just sucked. I literally got kicked off the app for sharing what I ate in a day, and that just infuriated me. People need to get a fucking grip. Mind your own business. Literally, why do people care? I'm not starving myself, so y'all need to stop tripping. Anyways, so I've not been posting on there for that reason, and also just because I want to focus more on my music. And I am so happy I recorded a full song last night and started a new one this morning, and they sound great, and I'm very excited to get them out. So yeah, but it's really frustrating to like be an artist. It requires a lot of strength and grit, and like growing up, people were so nasty to me. They were so hateful towards my music, and it never discouraged me. So this is not a pity party right now. It never discouraged me. I actually took everything people said, and I took even if it was mean and hateful, I took it into consideration, and I worked on what, the feedback they gave me. And so ultimately my haters were my biggest motivators. So there's that. Very cute and gorgeous. But again, I have tried my hardest to break through in this industry, and it's just been roadblock after roadblock. And it costs so much money. It's one of those things where you have to have money to make it happen. And music videos, like a good one is a decent one is at least $2,000 or $3,000. And girl, like, who got that money just to throw around? I'm not rolling in the fucking money like that. If I want to go out to LA and record music out there, like it costs a lot of money. It costs money to engineer things, to put it on Spotify. It costs money if you do want to promote your music. I've never done that, but that is something that I definitely would like to dabble in. And it's just hard, but I'm focusing more on working out the kinks. So if you're listening to this podcast and you got any type of connections, or you know where I need to go, point me in the right direction, whatever, contact me on Instagram, because I have hundreds of songs written. I have hundreds of demos recorded. Well, maybe not hundreds, at least 50 good demos that I could re-record, and at least 150 songs written that I didn't even start. But I'm just very excited because the song that I recorded last night, like, I'm like so tempted to play it on the podcast, but like I'm not going to do that, obviously, because can't do that. But just know I'm very excited about it. And I think that's all I'm going to say about that. So girls, it's hard being an artist, okay? I will say one person who really inspires me musically with the way that they promote their music on TikTok is Noah Davis. I love you, girl. One of my good girls. If you haven't already, I highly recommend that you go binge their whole discography. Noah is an incredible artist. I really look up to him, and TikTok really favors his music promo. So I need to take notes. Girls, if you do music, take notes from Noah Davis because he's doing the damn thing. But yeah, it does kind of suck though, because all the algorithm wants from me is an abandoned house or a thrift store or me getting into it with a Karen, which is actually something that I've been working on. And I would say I'm doing a good job. I've not really had any altercations with people recently, and I think I'm feeling more comfortable with myself. I'm feeling more content with my life. And, I think my outside world is starting to show for it, or is starting to, get in sync, if you will. Like the other day I had this testing moment. I think the universe has really been testing me a lot lately. Not like, knocking me down or anything, but really just been testing my strength, my willpower in certain ways. And I went to Publix. I had my cat ears on. I was in a jumpsuit. I had a cute ass belt on. I was feeling very sexy, very pussy, very cunt. And these two honky tonky ass, they weren't kids. They were like 20 years old. Were sitting outside of Publix, and they fucking lost their shit. They were pointing at me. They were laughing. They were howling, cackling. And I was just so tempted to embarrass them, pull my phone out. I did pull my phone out. I hit record, but I didn't turn my phone around and start filming them. I put my phone back in my pocket. And it was truly a moment for me. I got in the car and I was like, I am so proud of you. Like, I literally looked in the mirror and was like, I'm proud of you. It took a lot out of me not to go embarrass the fuck out of them and ruin their pride for the day. But I didn't. And yeah, so point being made, I can't just keep feeding the algorithm abandoned houses, which haven't done that in a long time anyways. Thrift stores, haven't done that in a long time either. And rants. I don't want to like keep posting Karen videos. I mean, obviously if something juicy arose, like I'm going to post it, but like I want to rebrand. I took down all of my Instagram posts, if anyone has been wondering. There's like 6 or 7 that are up now. Trent did kind of like get in my head. We were like scrolling through Instagram one day and there was just too much available about me. And I don't think that people need to know that much about me because I had like every post available since 2013, and that is scary to think that for like at least a year and a half you girls have been able to like see all of me. Like, y'all saw, if you were one of the lucky girls, you saw me bald as fuck, chemo and radiation. Like, you saw like at least 3 different people because I've been through some chapters, some phases, okay? and it was just scary. I'm trying to rebrand myself and really focus on what really lights my pussy up, and that is music. So I am going to focus more on that this year. But I'm going to go on another break. And when I come back, I have a lot of questions that you girls have asked me on Instagram. So don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Tasia. And I've always struggled with mental health, you guys. Y'all know that I have been in and out of treatment. Y'all know that I've been struggling through different medications for years, and it took me a long time to put my mental health first. But ever since I started taking accountability for how important myself was, my life changed. And that all started with me finally putting my mental health first, getting into therapy, taking the proper medication, getting a proper diagnosis. And if you're like me and you struggle with anxiety, sometimes you don't want to go to doctor's appointments. I hate going to doctor's appointments. It's so much easier just to meet with a doctor online or even chat with somebody online. Sometimes we go through crisis where we don't know how to express the way we're feeling, but we know we're just not feeling good. And with BetterHelp, you can get in to see a doctor within 48 hours. No month of waiting, no weeks of waiting. BetterHelp wants to help you now. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. I stand by them and I love what they do. I love that they want to help other people, especially as fast as they do. This month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you to take care of your most important relationship, and that's the one with yourself. Whether it's hitting the gym, going to get your lashes done, getting your nails done, going for a walk by yourself, having alone time, BetterHelp wants to help you. It's an online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. And I love that because a lot of people struggle with anxiety. That's why they put off their mental health, because they don't want to go in a doctor's office. They don't want to talk to somebody face to face. It's also much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. You can give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Unfazed and Unbothered listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/unfazed. That's BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/unfazed.
Okay, girls, I am back. No shit. I'm looking over these questions and already I see some juicy ones. So, Are You Shark? Hey, girl. What is your favorite and least favorite thing about having a large platform? So I would say my favorite thing is having support, having people fuck with you, having people respect you, look up to you. It is very rewarding. It's also, it's how I pay my bills. I make money off brand deals, tarot readings that I promote through my platform, views, live money. Like, it is definitely changed my life having a platform. And also it opens people up to wanting to work with you, collaborating. Like, going back to my music, prior to having a platform, I definitely got a decent amount of streams for someone in a small town, but it was probably only people in my small town. And so now that I have a platform, like, people respect me more and they take me more seriously. That was something that I struggled with for a long time. People never took me seriously. I don't know if I just have like dumbass written across my forehead, but it just felt like no one has ever taken me seriously. And now that I have a platform, like, that is kind of like not a bittersweet. That's not the word. It's kind of like it's a blessing and a curse, because people are so quick to want to respect me and want to like be cool with me. And so that does make me think to myself a lot, like, oh, is this person only being cool with me or being nice to me because they think they can get something out of me? But then again, it has a lot of perks, and there's a lot of opportunities that present themselves because I have a platform. So it's one of those things, but I really love meeting my girls out in public. I love when you guys approach me and we kiki. I love talking to y'all. I really love getting to know people, like, just engaging with people. Like, when I see my girls, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, if I run into you in the mall, like, I'm like, let me see your purchases. Like, what are you buying here? Like, what are you doing today? Like, I genuinely love to get to know you girls. So that is another perk to it. But let's see. Okay, apart ridge underscore asked, what advice would you give your childhood self? Be patient with yourself. There's not a real timeline. I'm 27 and my life is still not completely figured out. I thought I would have it all figured out at 18. Thought I was going to be a grown ass woman by 18, and that just wasn't the case. So be patient with yourself. Your 20s are known to be a struggle season, okay? And the 30s are approaching, and I'm just looking forward to smooth sailing, okay? So be patient with yourself, and also own your truth. One of my biggest regrets in life is not coming out of the closet sooner. I came out my senior year. I played myself. I knew I was gay since 8th grade. And I knew I was gay before that. Let me be real clear. But that's when I started like really knowing. Like I started putting a pin to my, my thoughts and my feelings. So anyways, I really wish that I had came out of the closet. So like I would tell my younger self to really own yourself, own who you are, and don't be ashamed. So yeah. Ashley Merez asked, what do you look for in friendships? Your friendships seem positive and beautiful. So I look for crazy bitches, people who have a lot going on, mentally ill, full of trauma, lots of baggage. Why? Because it makes life entertaining. No, but I just love like-minded individuals. I love hanging out with people who, like the same shit as me. And I will say I've got like a handful of really good friends. I have kept pretty much all of my actual friendships since middle school. And yeah, I think that says a lot. But what do I look for in a friendship? Mutual respect, support, someone who is trustworthy, someone I can, vent to, someone who's not going to judge me, someone who's equally as fucked up as me, crazy, silly, goofy. I'm telling you, you girls see what you see on the internet, but if you hung out with me and Tasia, or me and Trent, especially me and Trent, y'all would be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is actually going through y'all's brains? Because it's just like a lot of bullshit, and we just be saying the most off the wall shit that don't make sense, words that don't even go in the sentence. Like, mental illness, okay? You got to be mentally ill to be my friend. Let's see. Logan Kelsey, is the glass half full or half empty? Definitely half full. I know my tone can be misconstrued sometimes. I'm very monotone and I kind of sound sarcastic. I don't know if that's like something that happened to me, like a trauma that made me this way, but this is who I am. I do know what my brain is thinking and what my heart is thinking, and I will say that I am a very positive person. I try to uplift people, and I try to always look at the glass half full. Like, even when I was dying, I was on my deathbed, I was being told I had 3 to 5 years to live, and all I could think about was, I'm alive, I'm here, and I still would get up and straighten my hair, dress up, and put an effort to just go sit in the hospital bed and get blood. So definitely everything is about perspective, and I know it is easy to focus or hyper focus on like the bad, but there's a lesson in every situation you go through. So yeah, definitely half full. Desi Gray, where can we listen to your music? Spotify, Apple. Hail with a lot of L's, Storm, dating in your 20s. Oh my goodness. I have not had the best history of dating. I know how to pick them. I'll just say that. I think dating in your 20s is really just a trial and error. You're figuring out what it is you want out of life, and I think right now that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm almost 30, so like I'm really over the bullshit. Like, I've not been seeking a relationship since like 2018. And it's just your 20s, it's just so much bullshit. Like, guys, I feel like guys especially don't know how to be open and honest, and they're not effective communicators, at least with my experience. And so dating is just a shit show in your 20s. But some people get it together. This is speaking solely from experience, okay, girl? So if you're listening and you're like, I found my Prince Charming at 22 and we're good to go, good for you, baby. I'm so proud of you. But don't take it too seriously unless you know. If you know, you know. When you know, you motherfucking know, okay? So I will never take that away from somebody if they found Mr. Right or Mrs. Right at 22, 23. But I do think your 20s, people don't know how to be too serious. They're not really ready for commitment, especially with social media. Like, that's something that really does bother me, is social media and like dating apps, because people, I feel like, are so eager to jump into the next thing, or like they have all these options available. Like, back in the day, like, I know cheating was still a thing, but like, you would have had to like really go out of your way rather than just picking up a device and communicating with somebody. Like, it's so easy for somebody to lose feelings or like shift their focus because you moved a little funny for them, or said something that they didn't fully love, and then the next day they're like all head over heels over somebody else because that person hasn't like ran them off yet. And so they're always just looking for the next best thing, and like they can't really commit. They can't really sit down and focus on their future because they are just too into themselves and instant gratification. So dating in your 20s, it can work. It can work. There's hope out there, but it's a mess. Drop your skincare routine. Carol and Maria. So I have talked about this a lot. Kiehl's moisturizer or Bliss X Glotion. I exfoliate my face, and that's about it. They also asked me, do you want kids one day? Or are you going to be team no kids like me? I do want kids one day, but that is not even a thought in my brain. Marriage and kids are not even on my radar right now. Lidea, Ldeeaa. What signs do you not get along with? Coming from a Sagittarius. Love you, girl. So, love you too, mama. Okay, here's the thing with astrology. I try not to let it define a person, and I'm not one of those bitches that's like, oh, you're a Scorpio, so this means that, which Scorpios are my favorite sign. But everybody is an individual, but I do see patterns, and I'm very much the type of person who I kind of play both sides sometimes. Like, I definitely think that there's a lot of truth with astrology, and I definitely use it to my advantage sometimes. But I also know that it's just not all set in stone. And so, that being said, I have had a lot of conflicts with, Capricorns, and, I always have very intense relationships with Pisces. I will say, Pisces, y'all are fucking something else. Most of my best friends, Tasia, Ariana, Trent, and my friend Sister J, all Pisces, all intense people, and we all have these deep connections, but with those deep connections does come conflict and tension sometimes, so we do be butting heads here and there. So there's that. Other than that, like, I can't really think. I try to be cool with as many people as I possibly can, so there's not really been even Capricorns. Like, I have Capricorn friends, but I just tend to butt heads with them and Aquarius. I don't know, me and Aquarius, I tend to butt heads with them. So there's that. Okay, Zoe ZOERAUX17 asked, what type of kid were you in high school? How do you get through high school? I was definitely the weird kid. I was in full Lady Gaga merch always. I had my hair straightened every day. I had the back, I had cut it short and it was like looking like a peacock. I was doing the fucking most. And I was crazy. I was off the wall and I was making diss track after diss track about all my fucking classmates. So I was bonkers off the wall. I was always in the fucking principal's office, getting in trouble, almost going to jail over fucking posts on social media. But yeah, girl, I was just not taking shit from nobody. Busy Rizzo asked, how long did it take for you to reach this level of confidence? By the way, I love you. I love you too. I will say I've always had confidence. I don't feel like I'm a cocky person. I definitely know that I'm a flawed individual. But knowing that I'm a flawed individual and accepting the fact that I'm a flawed individual definitely helps give me confidence. And I think that when you realize that everybody else is also fucked up and flawed in their own ways, it kind of makes you feel not so alone. But also just I there's a lot of things I would change about myself. There's a lot of things I need to work on, but I genuinely mean this when I say I would not trade lives with anybody. I love myself. I love the face that God gave me. I love so many things about myself. I think I'm a very complex person. I have a lot of complexities to me, and I love that about myself. I'm out of this world, I would say. But I don't know, just stepping into your power and like sitting with yourself and thinking about, you know, who you are and what you stand for. It really, it gives me a level of confidence. So yeah, let me see. I'm going to answer one or two more. Somebody asked, Hydia asked, what are your big three? My big three, I'm literally Sag. I'm a triple Sag. So there's that. Hydia, they also, HADIYA_A also asked, can you explain a little more of your creative process for your music? How has it evolved? So I did kind of talk about that in the beginning of the middle of the episode, but really I usually find an instrumental or hear something that inspires me, and then I typically have to go through things like, and I think that's another reason why I had such like a hiatus with recording music, was because I wasn't really inspired. I wasn't going through heartbreak, or like I wasn't having like big bursts of serotonin, or like I wasn't in like a healthy, happy relationship to want to like, write and record music. But there's been some great activities going on in my life recently, so I've been feeling very inspired. I write from the heart, so if I'm not going through something, if there's not something going on, if I'm not full of emotion, good or bad, I just really don't have anything to write about. So that's pretty much it. I try to write as much as I can. I do write every week. I try to at least open up my notebook once every day, but sometimes I just get like one line or an idea for a song. But yeah. Dennis Doy Lee asked, normal day in the life of Camo. So you're looking at it. Typically I wake up, I go for a walk, get my 10,000 steps in, I hit up a friend, I smoke a little Miss Oregano, I write, I do tarot readings, and I just hang out, really and truly. I feel very blessed to live this life that I'm living. It's not glamorous by any means, but it is definitely very, very peaceful. I hang out with friends and just have a good time for the most part. I need to be more productive though, so friends, don't take it personally if I just disappear on your ass. Aaliyah Hamilton, what is the most ick you have ever gotten from a man? So there are some comments that will literally kill anything we got going on. And one of them is, I've had a lot of guys in the past. So men are typically interested in me because I am very femme presenting. They like my hair, they like my nails, they like my makeup, my jewels, and the way I dress and present myself because it's very womanly. And it's typically like guys who are like curious or in the closet or like new to this, and they like have like this instant attraction to me because I'm like the best of both worlds. But somewhere along the road, most of them always fuck up saying some stupid shit like, "Oh, you would be so hot if you got breast implants, or if you fully transitioned," and that shit just like bothers the fuck out of me because this is this is no shade whatsoever to my trans girlies out there, but me personally, I am content with the body that I'm in, and like this is the body that God gave me, and I definitely want to alter it. So there's that. But like, I don't mind having a dick. Like, I actually prefer it. Like, if I could go back in time and like redo my life and like kind of, you know, set myself up the way I want to be, I wouldn't have been born with a vagina. I wouldn't have. So when guys say stuff like that to me, it's dead. It's done. It's over. Goodbye. This is the last time you're going to hear from me. That, and also, so this is something that my ex actually said to me. He does listen to my podcast. So if you're listening to this, LOL, fuck you for this. I dated this guy for like a year and a half. We were kind of involved for like 2 years, and he was not out of the closet, which is totally fine. I respect that. It's a journey of its own, and it's something that can't be rushed. But I was very patient, very patient. I never pushed him to come out to his family. I never was like, when are you going to come out? When are you going to come out? But I'm very much somebody who always knew that this is what my life was destined to be. I knew I was going to be somebody. I knew I was going to do things. I knew I was going to make money. I knew I was going to be big and, you know, go places. And I've not even scratched the motherfucking surface, bitch. And I knew that was coming, but I hadn't obtained any level of like a platform or like notoriety or anything like that yet. But I knew it was coming. And I would have real conversations with him, and like, it did bother me that I didn't mind that he was in the closet, but or he swears he's straight, and it was just me. It was like, I guess my pussy was that good. But it didn't bother me that he wasn't like coming out on like Facebook and telling everyone I'm gay or boss like beep bop bop boop boop, or you know, but like at least like to your friends or whatnot, he would always have me tell his friends that we just do music together or we're just friends, and that did bother me. But I did ask him one day. I was like, so what are you going to do if my career takes off and now I'm in the public eye, and let's say we're out in public and people take pictures? Oh, it would be worth it at that point because you're famous. Like, fuck my parents at that point. I don't know why I didn't break up with him right after that comment. I really put up with way too much in that relationship. That relationship taught me everything that I don't ever want in a relationship. So, yeah, that was a big ick for me. Lindsay 3 asked, what jump started your weight loss? So okay, this is embarrassing. So I went on a little trip with some friends to Tybee Island, and none of them really know this, but there was this gas station down the road. Actually, all the gas stations in the proximity, they had these muffins that, this is so silly, that were so goddamn good. They were like homemade and they were amazing. And I consumed 8 of them, and they were like big, thick, heavy ass muffins. And I literally bought 8 of them, and I took them and hid them in my room and closed the door and ate them. I ate like 3 in one sitting, to the point where I literally had to go gag myself. And anyways, that trip, like, I was not eating okay. I was eating terribly. And when I got home, I had gained like 10 pounds, and I saw my heaviest weight pretty much on the scale. And that literally triggered me. And I was like, I cannot do this any longer. I cannot keep going at this rate. I am disgusted with myself. And yeah, so that just like a switch went off on me. And then, yeah, I've just been very motivated ever since. And like somebody did come into my life and they've made me very happy. And we're working on things, we're figuring things out, but he's also been like a motivating factor. Obviously, I'm not trying to get skinny for a man. I want to be skinny and healthy and fit for my confidence so that I can maintain a healthy relationship, so that I can feel good about myself. But definitely he, without even knowing it or without pushing me, has really motivated me and kept me focused. So, yeah. I think that this is a lot of questions. I will definitely screenshot some of these for a future episode, but I appreciate you girls so much for the questions as always. I love engaging with you, and I look forward to next week's episode. Hopefully it'll be, with Tasia. We'll see what happens, but also, we are having a live event on April 10th with Moment House. Tickets are on sale. I think you can click the link in my bio on TikTok or Instagram right now, and the tickets will be available. It's a virtual event. It's only $15. There is meet and greet tickets. Also, there is merch. And yeah, it's going to be a fun, interactive event. And if you are not able to see it live in real time, they will have it available for 7 days to still view it. So get your tickets now. It's April 10th, girls, and it is virtual, so you don't have to be in the state of Georgia. But yeah, I hope you girls are having a wonderful, marvelous, sexy, hot day. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, we love you.